Hello, my name is Tarna Hunter, and I'm the Legislative Liaison for the Department of Employee Trust Funds. Today, I'm going to go over two important parts of the Wisconsin retirement system. The first part of the presentation will focus on legislative oversight of the Wisconsin retirement system. The last half will provide the history of the Department of Employee Trust Funds and the Wisconsin retirement system. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentation. The PowerPoint slides shown in this presentation are available as a PDF. The legislative oversight is an important part of the Wisconsin retirement system. It is also important for the board to be aware of proposals in the legislature and understand their impact on the Wisconsin retirement system. The department will monitor legislative proposals and provide you information. Legislative oversight is provided by the Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems. The 10-member committee was established by Chapter 376, Laws of 1947, to function as the legislature's oversight committee for all matters relating to proposed statutory changes to the state-operated public employee pension system. Because of the complexity and potential costs to public employers of any proposed change in Wisconsin retirement system law, a diverse Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems membership was established as a safeguard to ensure that complex pension legislation could receive adequate review. The Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems is comprised of the following members. The legislative members are 3 senators and 3 representatives. There must be 1 member from each from a minority party, and an assistant attorney general appointed by the attorney general, a public member who is neither a WRS participant or a WRS annuitant appointed by the governor, the commissioner of insurance, or an experienced actuary appointed by the commissioner, and the secretary of ETF or the secretary's designee. The committee is co-chaired by one of its Senate members and by one of its Assembly members. The legislative members, the Assistant Attorney General, and the public member serve 4-year terms and continue into office until a successor is appointed and qualified. In practice, the legislative members receive appointment or reappointment to the Joint Survey Committee every 2 years at the commencement of the new legislature. Any member of the Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems ceases to be a member upon losing their status of which membership is based. Under the statutes, the legislature is prohibited from acting on any bill or amendment that would create, modify, or in any way provide for the retirement or payment of pensions to public employees unless the proposal has first been referred to the Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems, and the committee has provided a written report on the bill or amendment. All actions of the Joint Survey Committee require the approval of an absolute majority, which is 6 members. The Wisconsin retirement system is complex, and changes need to be studied. The purpose of studying changes is to make sure that change results in good public policy. It is also important to avoid unintended consequences. A Joint Survey Committee on Retirement System report on a retirement bill or amendment includes a description of what the bill will do, the probable cost of the proposal, the impact of the proposal on employer and employee contribution rates, the likely effect of the bill on the actuarial soundness of the Wisconsin retirement system, and the judgment of the committee as to whether or not the bill is desirable as a matter of good public policy. In performing this work, the committee may contract for actuarial studies or opinions. The committee may hold hearings, receive testimony, and review legislation. However, it does not have the authority to introduce retirement legislation or amendments to that legislation. This is because the committee, as a joint survey committee, is comprised of both public non-elected members, and legislator members. Due to the presence of these public members, the Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems cannot be a standing committee of the legislature with the power to introduce or modify legislation. While the Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems itself cannot introduce legislation, the committee may conclude that the proposed legislation would be good public policy if amended in a certain fashion. In such cases, the committee's report typically indicates that fact. Subsequently, an amendment to the bill accomplishing the recommended changes by the committee may be introduced by one or both of the legislative co-chairs of the Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems. Legislative Council staff is required to assist the Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems in the performance of its duties. The Council staff provides legal and research staff services, prepares fiscal estimates on bills referred to the committee, facilitates communication between the legislature and participants in the Wisconsin retirement system on issues relating to public employee retirement systems, and the council staff also prepares a comparative study of major public employee retirement systems in the United States every 2 years. In addition, the Legislative Council staff, in consultation with groups representing the WRS, are required to suggest to the co-chairpersons of the Joint Legislative Council any feasible subjects for study or investigation of public employee retirement issues. While various trust funds, boards, agencies, and the legislative committees described above are separate legal entities, the overlapping memberships at the policy-making levels in these bodies is intended to provide a level of coordination of WRS activities. These interrelationships are characterized in the next slide. Now let's look at the overlapping membership on retirement-related boards. We will start out looking at the various boards. First, we have the Employee Trust Fund Boards, which is comprised of 13 members. The Wisconsin Retirement Board and the Teachers Retirement Board act as advisory boards to the Employee Trust Fund Boards. The State of Wisconsin Investment Board oversees the investment of the trust fund. You can see here that there's members from the Teachers Retirement Board on the Employees Trust Fund Board and the Teachers Retirement Board on the Investment Board. You already see the interrelationships of this. Next, we have the Group Insurance Board, which oversees health insurance for state and other public sector workers, which has a governor's designee appointed to the Employee Trust Fund Board. Next, I have shown all of the executive branch officers. We have the Secretary of Employee Trust Fund, the Director of the Office of State Employee Relations, Commissioner of Insurance, Attorney General, the Governor, and the Secretary of Administration. And finally, the Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems. The Secretary of the Employee Trust Fund serves on the Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Systems and is also employed by the Employee Trust Fund Board. You see there's few members of the executive staff serving on the Joint Survey Committee on Retirement Services. So you could spend a few minutes studying this page to really understand how the ETF board and the other boards interact at the government level. The present Wisconsin retirement system is the result of a long history of mergers and consolidations of a variety of predecessor state and local public employee pension systems. We're going to discuss in this half that merger and how the Wisconsin retirement system came to be. The Wisconsin retirement system now provides retirement, disability, and death benefits to all state employees and to most local government employees in Wisconsin. The Department of Employee Trust Funds was created by Chapter 75 Laws of 1967. Either by board delegation or by statutory assignment, the agency is charged with collecting and counting for all monies due to the retirement trust funds, calculating and accurately dispersing all benefit payments, providing information and responding to inquiries from participating employers and employees, and accounting for all WRS benefit transactions. The concept of providing retirement benefits to Wisconsin employees began in 1891. Specifically, Milwaukee began providing retirement protection and security for police officers and firefighters. Today, nearly all public employees are assured of retirement protection. The history of public employee retirement benefits falls into two phases. The first time period is 1891 to 1947, consisted of many public employers establishing separate systems throughout the state. A key event in 1907 established legislation which enabled municipalities to provide retirement benefits to its public safety officers. Not much long after, the city of Milwaukee established a pension plan for teachers, and then in 1911, a statewide plan for public employees was established. After 1947, plans began consolidating. Public employee retirement system merged into one system. We will discuss this in more detail, but the Wisconsin retirement system is a collection of systems dating back to the early 1900s. The system currently has over 1,400 employers and provides retirement security to nearly all public employees in Wisconsin. The WRS is managed by ETF and governed by the Employee Trust Fund Board. The State Teachers Retirement System, otherwise known as STRS, underwent major changes in 1951. The laws of 1951 clarified the governance structure as well as the investment structure. In particular, it created one board to govern the plan. The Wisconsin Municipal Retirement Fund for non-Milwaukee local employees was created in 1943. In addition, the legislature created a number of separate systems for Milwaukee County and the City of Milwaukee public employees from 1945 through the late 1940s. The systems eventually merged under one umbrella system. The reason for this merger is that in the 1940s there were approximately 75 different plans throughout Wisconsin. Many of these plans were small. Both the legislature and employers became concerned about the financial solvency and the long-term sustainability of the smaller plans. This was the driving force behind merging the system. All newly hired non-teachers outside of Milwaukee became members of the Wisconsin Retirement Fund. The separate police, fire, and warden funds throughout Wisconsin were also merged into the Wisconsin Retirement Fund. As I mentioned before, in 1951, the legislature established the State Teacher Retirement System, which covers all public teachers with the exception of Milwaukee. In addition, I should also note that SWIB was also created in the laws of 1951. Then, the public pension system consisted of the Wisconsin Retirement Fund, the State Teachers Retirement System, the Milwaukee Teachers Retirement System, and the two systems for the Milwaukee City and Milwaukee County employees. As I mentioned before, ETF was created in 1967, and it operates under the direction of the 7-member ETF board. The ETF board was responsible for managing the State Teacher Retirement System at this time and the Wisconsin Retirement Fund. In 1975, the legislature declared that the State Teacher Retirement System, the Milwaukee Teacher Retirement System, and the Wisconsin Retirement Fund merged into one system called the Wisconsin Retirement System. Again, the driving force for this merger was to ensure a financially sound retirement system and long-term sustainability. In 1977, laws merged the remaining police and fire department retirement systems outside of Milwaukee into the Wisconsin retirement system. It created a teachers' retirement board and a similar Wisconsin retirement board for non-teachers. The purpose of the two boards is to advise the employee trust fund boards, which again is the primary governing board of the Wisconsin retirement system and the Department of Employee Trust Funds. Today, the Wisconsin retirement system is one of the largest public or private retirement systems in the United States and the world. ETF tracks service and earnings for over 545,000 WRS participants. ETF administers all of the WRS benefits, an array of benefits including health insurance. The State Wisconsin Investment Board, which we talked about previously, invests all the contributions to the system on behalf of the employers and employees of the Wisconsin retirement system. You can see that good policy design and good governance are important to a public retirement system. The WRS has both and has entrusted you to maintain that level of integrity and good financial governance to ensure that public employees in Wisconsin are provided a portion of their retirement security in the future. Thank you very much for watching.